So this is lesson 5.1, probably A, for elementary algebra, the greatest common factor and factoring by grouping. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to look at being able to factor out things. So if we have 3x to the 5th power plus 12x squared. Alright, there's a couple ways you can do this. Let me do it the long drawn out way, and then you can understand what's going on there, and then maybe you can figure out a way to simplify it on your own. But we factor each of these out into its product of primes. Okay, and what we do is we find out what's common to both of these factors. I have a 3 here, and I have a 3 here. I have 2 x's here, and I have 2 x's here. Okay, I have more than 2 x's over here, but I've got to do what's common. So I'm going to take that 3 that I have common and that x squared, 2 x's there, and I'm going to write out what I've got left. 3 x's left in there, and 4. And that is all I have that is common, is the 3x squared, and then I wrote down what I had left there. So that's pretty much several parts of this lesson in one fell swoop. Let's look at example number 2. And we have 8a cubed b squared plus 16a squared b cubed plus 20a cubed b cubed. Alright, let's go ahead and write these as product of primes. And this can be a little monotonous. Okay, so let's circle what we have common. Let's see, I have the least amount of 2's here is this one here, so I can only take that many because that's all that's common. So I'm going to take that out, and let's do this in blue. I've got 2a's here, 2a's here, and I've got 3 there, but I can only take 2. And the b's, let's do that in yellow. I've got 2 here, 2 and 2. That's all they have that are common. So let's go ahead and multiply everything. 2 times 2 is 4. A squared, b squared. That's what I have in common. Okay, so the book doesn't have you do this, but let's write down what's left, because eventually they will. So in this one right here, what do I have left? I have a 2 and an a left there. I have a 4 and a b left there, and I have a 5 ab left there. Okay, so this is my leftover. This is what I have common. This is the greatest common factor. Okay, alright, let's jump up to 3. Example 3. I don't know why they give you example 3, because it's like so easy. 3x minus 15. So I have a 3 times x minus 3 times 5. And if I look and see what's common, I have a 3 that's common, so I'm pulling it out and I'm writing what I have left. And that's it. Okay, let's look at example 4. So for example 4, I have 5x cubed minus 15x squared. Alright, 5x minus 3 times 5x. Alright, so what do I have common? I have a 5 that's common and 2 x's. So I'm going to pull those out, and what I have left, I've got that x minus that 3. Okay, and I'm done. Alright, let's look at example number 5. And example number 5 has 16x to the 5th power minus 20x to the 4th power, minus 8x cubed. Alright, so again, what I'm going to do, product of primes. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the variables alone, but I'm going to write that, and I'll leave that as x to the 5th. Okay, so I just didn't put the time signs in there. I probably should. Alright, so if we look at this, the least amount of 2's is right there. So that's the most I can take out. And that looks like that's it as far as the numbers, so I can take out those. So what I do is they go away. So the 2 times 2 I'm going to write down because I can take those out. And let's see, this 5 I cannot take out, so we'll just leave it there. Now we'll look at the x's. The least number of x's that I have. I've got 5, 4, and 3. So I'm going to take all 3 of these. And what does that leave here? That leaves 2 here, and it leaves just 1 there. So what do I have? I've got 4x squared in that first term. Then I look at this one, and I have a 5x. Then I look at this one, and I have 2x. Well, no, in fact, I took all of them out of there, so I don't even have an x, do I? I just have a 2. So I have 4x cubed times a quantity, 4x squared minus 5x minus 2. Okay, let's go to example number 6 here. See if I can make some of this disappear. Alright, example 6. 6x cubed y minus 18 x squared y squared minus 12xy cubed. Okay, so 2 times 3 x cubed y, 2 times 3 times 3 x squared y squared minus 2 times 2 times 3 xy cubed. Alright, so product of primes is what I did right there. Okay, so least amount of 2's that I have. I have 1 there, and I'll just take one of those. So 1 is the one that's common, so then I'll put that 2 out there. Then 3's. Well, I have 1 3 there, I have 2 there, so I can only take 1. Oh, and I have 1 there. So I'm going to take that out of there. Alright, let's look at the x's. I've got an x cubed, an x squared, and an x. So the most I can take is the 1x. So that takes care of that one. Takes care of one of those. Takes care of one of those, leaving me 2. Now let's look at the y's. I've got 1y, a y squared, and a y cubed. So let's take the 1y out. That takes that one. Takes all but one. I can take 1 out of there, and I can take 1 off of here. So what does that leave me with? It leaves me with an x squared, a 3xy, that negative is from there, and minus a 2y squared. Okay, so this ends up being a 6. X squared minus 3xy minus 2y squared, and I'm done. That's my answer there. Alright, so let's do another video for the last example 7 and factoring by grouping.